My name is Phoebe Emma, um, and I am a web designer and a marketeer. I have 10 years in digital marketing and 2 years in the travel industry, specifically in e-commerce. I've helped multiple brands build up to 8 million plus a year in sales using my marketing strategies. And I'm really excited to help you guys learn how to build using those marketing strategies today. So combining both my skills and technical skills I also have and combining the two, I can help my clients create automated systems that basically help you increase your income. So this is what we'll be going through today, and it's an overview of how to help you guys basically increase your income so you don't have to feel worried about the price demand in your area and having to compete with all the other Airbnbs or short-term rentals in your location, as well as adding more time to your life. I know how having an Airbnb can mean there's a lot of communication between guests and catering to their needs so that they know that they're catered for and that they are getting all they need, as well as bookings. This system will help you increase your bookings and also make it easier to sleep at night because you know your investment is getting the ROI that it deserves, and you feel more aligned with your business because it just becomes easier. It's not hard, and you don't have like a love-hate relationship with your business because bookings can be so hard if you're in such a populated area with a lot of competition. But this series is going to help you stand out from the competition, and it's going to help you realize what you need to do for your business so you can grow and so you can sleep easier at night. So let me go into the system. So this is a system that is new to the Airbnb world in the sense that not many people do it. People who do it are maybe people who have 5, 10 properties that they get somebody else, like a property manager, to manage. What this is almost a bespoke and boutique way of marketing for your STR. So you can see here we've got 5 main categories, and these 5 main categories do kind of interlink with each other a little bit, but they all are their own pillar, essentially. Sorry, I do talk a lot with my hands, so excuse the hand gestures. I'm going to start with kind of talking about branding, and branding is super important for your property. So when you search on any platform, Airbnb, Booking.com, Verbio, guests are more likely to click on your listing if you look enticing to them. If you do not look interesting or um, different or what they are looking for, then they're not going to click on your listing and they're not going to want to book with you. So branding is massive to properties. You may have heard of branding in other aspects within marketing, but essentially, when you have a property, you have a business, so you need to market it. If you're not marketing your business, then when you're not getting guests, then it's kind of understandable because it's not you're not marketing to your correct customers, and then they're not seeing you, and therefore you're not getting bookings. So branding is essential to your property, and this also is related quite massively within the STR space with your location. So your location has quite a bearing on what type of guests you're attracting, what type of guests are looking for you in that area, what they want to do in that area, and the type of guests. So if you've got couples, families, more business orientated bookings. So you have to really nail down on what your property is. Is it a property that is going to help you get more people who want to go hiking? Is it a property that is located on the beach and attracts more families? This is all the kind of things you kind of think about when you think of location. With each of these pillars, I'm going to be doing separate little series of videos, so you will understand more about each of the pillars, and you'll understand why each one of them has a greater influence on each other. But today is just kind of like an overview. So then from branding and your local area, we go into creating local connections. Now, the local connections are essential for you adding income into your property. So when you create business partnerships, marketing becomes a little bit easier in that local area, but also does what you can offer for your guests. So your guests are looking for a property that is going to be able to share all what they want in their stay. So, for example, say I was wanting to go to a city break and I wanted to be close to some restaurants, then I it would be great knowing what Airbnbs or short-term rentals were near those restaurants, so I didn't have to catch the late train home or something like that. So that's just a very brief example. And like I said, we're going to go through these in more in depth and other videos and lives, but that's just a really good example first of all. Then this leads me into the marketing. So when you think of marketing for a business, you think of branding, you think of systems, you think of social media, and social media can be a great way to advertise your business. It's free, it's organic, but social media doesn't work if you're not branded and you're not standing out from the crowd. So this is why they all merge into each other. And I also really like this way of showing it because you realize how interconnected everything is, and you realize that if you get one thing nailed, then everything else becomes a bit easier. And branding is definitely the one thing that if you nail that, you really understand where you're going with your property and your business and who you're attracting. So your social media can be really powerful if you know your branding. It can then influence things like reviews, because your marketing was on point, your guest came and stayed, and then they shared about your property because they loved what you were doing, and you now have this content to be able to share with your social media, and they can also share with their social media too. So all these things interconnect, and reviews are so important, especially on a platform like Airbnb. If you get bad review, then they're more likely to bump you down on the algorithm. It's very algorithm based, which is also why it's super important to not just focus on the algorithm and focus on your own marketing as well. But like I said, reviews are important, and it's comes down to your systems. So systems can be a very broad terminology, but when I talk about systems, I mean two main things. One is your booking website, and two is the admin tasks. So a lot of what happens with reviews is the lack of communication from hosts. So if a host is not communicating properly, then the guests will get quite frustrated and not really understand what's going on, where to collect the keys, or how to get into the property, how when they need to get out of the property, when they need to get into the property. There are a lot of communication that needs to go and happen between the guest and the host, and this can be automated. A lot of hosts will have this that admin that they feel like they have to do, and then sometimes it doesn't get done because life gets in the way. If you are busy running other businesses, or if you have a full-time job, then sometimes these kind of communication admin tasks just get left, and it's not thought about, it's not considered. So it's something that's really important within the journey of from when the guest books your B&B to when they stay, and also afterwards. So admin can also come into being in your marketing. So I'm going to come on to building the list in a minute, but that's also built into it as well. Now, a booking website makes things like this a bit easier because you can connect all your sites that you are currently advertising on. So you might be advertising on Airbnb, booking.com, but you can marry in those two calendars and put them onto your own site so that you can also take bookings from your own site. Now, by doing this, you are collecting your own guest information, and you are making it easier for guests to understand what you offer. So within your booking website, you could also offer upsells like providing services or picnics or things like that they can then upsell on the site, and you can then make more income from. But we'll get to the adding income bit in a minute. But a booking website makes your life a lot easier because it's all marrying it into one area. We have a way of being able to communicate with guests when they give you their email address and the phone number, and it just makes it a bit easier. This also goes into the branding, because when you have decided a really strong branding to stand you out from your competitors, you then have a booking website that then marries it all together and shows exactly what your guests are going to get when they get there. And it's a really good way of just showing how different you are from your competitors. So I mentioned collecting emails and building the list, which is this one over here. So building a list is super important. As a business, you are basically creating a marketing communication, and where businesses go wrong is when they don't have a list that they can fall back onto and market to. So if you don't have any bookings for a month that you want to fill, if you by emailing your list, and I'll talk through some scripts and different types of emails you can send on a different call. But when you have a system where it reminds your previous guests of where they stayed, most likely they'll want to stay with you again, because if they like to stay, they liked the area, it was easy. If they don't want to stay again, they will at least share you to their friends, and this is called referral marketing. Now, referral marketing is huge. Word of mouth is huge. The only reason massive brands become massive brands is because people talk about them. The virality, oh, that was harder to say than I thought. The viralness of campaigns. When you see a billboard and you don't realize you're seeing it so many times, that's when you're most likely to get bookings. Sorry, you're most likely to get to buy that thing because it's subconsciously going in your brain. It's a bit like emails. So referral marketing and working with your previous guests is a really great way of building your income and building the amount of people that know you exist as a business and as a property. But not only that, as a business, you and collecting emails or collecting customer data, you can then also market to them about other things in the area. So say a guest is booked with you. You could then create either a welcome book, which a welcome book is honestly a secret that people don't use. People use printed out versions, but if they were to use digital versions, you could then add a way of getting into the site, so adding in your email address. So say they booked to an Airbnb and you put up a welcome book as a QR in your property. People arrive and then they see the QR to get onto the Wi-Fi or to find out more about how to work your property. So like how to where things are. So if you've put some things in certain cupboards, or say you tell them how to turn the TV on or something like that. They can then use the QR, get into the website, your own personal welcome book, and they can then watch these videos, understand a bit more about the property. If there's a story behind the property, that's great. It adds more value to the guest stay. But not only that, is you can then upsell services that you may offer to them. So say it's somebody's birthday and they need a cake, you could provide a cake, or you could provide the local party food that you're working with a restaurant on, and you could both get a slice of that pie. This is where building business partnerships is really important, and also having a welcome book is really important, because then they've not only just booked from you for Airbnb, but then you're also providing some services, just like a hotel does. So a lot of hotels, if you go and you stay a night, then maybe they might upsell you to the spa, or they might upsell you to buy a cake for somebody's birthday. You're basically doing what a hotel does, but just on a smaller scale. But it's a really great way to build on that income and build on the bookings. Because as we know, it's getting more and more competitive. And if you're in an area with a lot of Airbnbs, you need to stand out from the others, and not many people are doing this. So another great way of using the list and the welcome book. So now, so you've used your welcome book. Someone's added their email in. You can also then send some affiliate links in an automated email, and you could say, great, I'm so glad you arrived. If you do want to do anything on your stay, there is a great water park down the road, and have an affiliate link with that water park. If you don't know what affiliate links are, they're basically where you take a bit of commission from the partner. Sorry. So you are like a third party, and you just add a link, and then they can book the water park for their whole family, and then you will get a couple of pounds for each of those tickets. Now, that doesn't sound much, but if you do this for all your stays, it will slowly add up. And when people go stay somewhere, not very often they'll stay in the same place, and they'll want to do multiple different activities. So if you have multiple activities around your area, it's a really great way of combining income and combining partnerships with your local area. So I think that is all of the systems that I'm just looking over just to see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. Like I said, this is my first time, first Zoom almost. So I hope it was quite informative. I'm going to be doing a series on these, and I hope that each of these are going to become a bit more unpacked for you as we go through the series. But the main thing to take out of this is branding, and also to think about a welcome book. Both those two things will stand you out. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me. And yeah, have a great day.